mid-September and we're out in Long Island Sound fishing for false albacore. It's the middle of the day. We caught a couple fish on the outgoing tide. It's gone slack low and now the tide is just starting to come in. Right now the equipment I'm fishing is the Diamondback Aeroflex Salt 9-foot 9-weight, and I have the Aeroflex Salt Reel. The line I'm fishing is a Scientific Angler's clear floating Grand Slam taper in a 9-weight. And I have a 3-part butt section that's 30, 25, 20 of a stiff hard material called P-line Shinsi, and then a tippet ring, and I'm running about 4 feet of Sunline Shooter 16-pound fluorocarbon right now is what I'm running with these size 1 or size 1/0 flies. The fish are on bay anchovies right now, and the bay anchovies they're eating, we saw some get coughed up. They're about 1.5 inches. So my flies are a little bit bigger than that, but I am imitating the bay anchovies, and the fish are on the big side, so I'm fishing that 16-pound to make sure that I can get good hook sets and not break the fish off and be able to really fight them hard and close the deal on them so you get a good release. When you've got a crosswind or a tailwind, you can turn over a much longer leader effectively, and when you're casting into the wind, you can't. So I will adjust my leader length quite a bit depending on the wind conditions and also my flies. If I'm fishing a bigger fly, then I'll fish a shorter, heavier leader, and if I'm fishing a lighter fly that's easy to turn over, I'll always have a longer leader, as long as I can effectively control turning it over. The thing you'll learn fishing for them is you can only have enough line out that you can bang it tight so the leader snaps out and lands and you can move it right away. Even if they don't bite it right away, if it doesn't move right away, they don't react to it. I want them to notice it moving and then I slow it down. So I cast out and I try to really come tight to it, and then once I'm tight to it, I try to like move it at the speed that a small minnow would go. So that's a little bit too long. I'm finishing my cast and I'm not able with this much wind to bang that tight, so I just reeled in a little bit of line. Being able to control your casts at short and long distances and different angles is what it's all about. And that's the challenge. It's not making the distance of the cast. It's like managing the line under pressure. And while you've got targets that you're trying to think about and read, no matter how good you are, it makes it difficult when you can see these things and you know that you've got this like 3-4 second window, or you see your shots are like going by because your line didn't clear, and it's like the frustration makes it harder. I adjust how much line I have out to get to that happy place where I'm making like a 2 false cast where it gets to the end and my line comes tight, and then I'm able to fish it right away.
There's one. There he is.
We've got some feeding fish. Some fish popped up about 75 feet away, and there were a handful of fish that were visible on the surface, and that one kind of followed it out and ate it about 10-15 feet outside of where the swirls were. So I think that fish probably engaged with the fly and then followed it a little bit before it got it. Here's one. Ooh, yeah, baby. He's gonna go still. There we go. That's a good one, and oftentimes the big ones will do weird shit, like come at you when you first hook them to try to get slack, where they've been caught before. To fight the albies well, you really need a lot of power in the bottom end of the rod, and also really strong ferrule transitions, because you're often having to lift them at the end of the fight, or they could be going under the boat, which is all really tricky angles for the rod to handle. This is where the fight requires the most strategy, because the fish will go under the boat and make weird moves, and you really have to get your hand on the line to close the deal and get them by the tail. So the transition from being near the leader, where we are now, to getting your hand on the line without breaking the rod, is the name of the game. So you'll see me palming the reel at the end of the fight. That's because I want to keep the drag loose enough so it will slip if the fish goes under the boat at a bad angle, but I also want to keep enough pressure on the fish to break it and tire it out. So if I hold the reel handle or I palm the reel, I can lock the drag down, but then it can slip if I need to let it go. Is this stuck in the